Ladies and gentlemen, the CPF SA closure has just happened. It's breaking news. And everyone who is 55 years and above, you will see your CPF special account close today. And I want to give a special warning to everyone that's affected. There are 1.4 million of you. Please watch my video to protect yourself. Let's go on. The CPF special account closure will affect 1.4 million CPF members. So everyone that's 55 years and above, you will not see special account anymore. It has been closed, just effected today. For all the members that are affected, you will receive notification via a hard copy letter from the CPF board and an email or an SMS from tomorrow onwards, which is 20th of January 2025. You can view the amount transferred from your SA to the RA or OA in your online transaction history in your CPF app or CPF website, which is cpf.gov.sg. So with this SA closure, any amount above the FRS in your retirement sum will be transferred over from your SA to the ordinary account. And this year, the FRS stands at 213,000 for people who turn 55 this year. So if you fall into this bracket, you will see amount above the FRS being transferred to the ordinary account. So how much will be transferred to your OA and RA will depend how much you have existingly in your retirement account. So if your retirement account today has $0, which is the extreme, then your SA have a full retirement sum of 213,000, then everything will go into your retirement account. But let's say you have excess from your full retirement sum of 213,000, then all the amount that's above full retirement sum will go to the OA, and the full retirement sum of 213,000 will go to your RA. Now, supposing right now you're already beyond 55, so you already have $213,000 in your RA, then whatever money you have in your SA will all be transferred to your OA. Okay, so then you work out the in-betweens. This is where the very important points are, because there's a lot of questions about interest rates. Let's start with the basics first. Funds in your retirement account carries a 4% interest. Funds in your ordinary account only carries a 2.5% interest. So the whole philosophy of why the SA account has closed for people above 55 years old is because of the following. So if you transfer money from your ordinary account to your RA, you will enjoy high interest of 4%, but you will lose liquidity. So your only time you'll see your money is after you hit 65 to 70 years old, and you withdraw as an annuity, like a monthly income from your retirement account through CPF Life. But if you park money above the FRS into ordinary account and refuse to transfer to your retirement account, then you will enjoy liquidity because this money can touch anytime, but your interest will only be 2.5% and you will lose 1.5%. So you got to judge yourself whether you want liquidity or high interest, but you cannot have both. And that's the reason why they closed the special account, because this is a philosophical abnormally that the CPF board have decided to close. Now, this next part is where it becomes controversial, because a lot of people have different understanding of how interest is calculated. A lot of people say, I've already accumulated 19 days of interest in my special account, so I should enjoy 4% from there. And then after that, when the money goes to OA, the remaining part will take a 2.5%. That's not how interest rate is being calculated. So let me give you a numerical example to let you know how CPF calculate interest rate. So if you already have full retirement sum in your retirement account, which is the 213,000, and $100,000 in your special account, these $100,000 will be transferred to the ordinary account today, and the January interest for the $100,000 will be 2.5%. It won't be like the first 19 days, 4%, the next 12 days or so will be at 2.5%. It's not calculated on a daily basis. So it's a monthly calculation. A lot of people say, yeah, like that, beside that kind of thing. Right? Okay, Ken, you want your 4% interest? Very simple, right? Transfer your money for your 100,000 in this case example, which is excess of your FRS into your retirement account, then the whole month of your excess special account of $100,000 will enjoy 4% interest. So this is a very important point of clarification that I think all of us got to know how they calculate interest. Now, I'm not here to dispute what is right, what is wrong, what is fair or not fair whatsoever. I think this is a very important point we need to understand before you start wondering, how come interest is not this amount, not that amount. So a lot of people actually want higher interest rate of 4%. 4% is incredible, risk-free and things like that. So if you want the high interest of 4% in your retirement account, and so do it early, the transfer to be done early. So I've clarified with the CPF board, most requests for transfer will be processed within a day, most, okay? But some transfer, especially when you try to top up your loved ones, and that can take a few more days because they need to sometimes verify relationship and things like that. So it gets a bit more complicated. That could take a few more days. And right now they anticipate a huge surge of transfer requests and things like that. So it may take more days. But do not try to do last minute transfer. Don't wait until the 31st of January, then you start transfer. And you might kena some technical issues such as, I forgot my password, or I got some device issue, at the last minute problem, things like that. So if you have intention to transfer money from your SA to your RA that's above the FRS, do it early, okay? Yeah, whether you transfer on the 19th or the 20th or the 21st or 22nd, 24th, it doesn't make a difference. So transfer early. This is where I also want to remind everybody that if for someone that's 55 years old and above, okay, currently right now, the enhanced retirement sum is 2 times that of FRS, which stands at 426,000. That's a very big number. And I've talked about it a few times that Mr. Lu intends to maximize this number because once I do that, I enjoy, a lifetime income from a day I retire around 65 to 70 years old of an amount about $4,000 over dollars. Okay, it is wonderful income. I treat it like a dividend. It's not conceptually a dividend, but I treat it like a dividend. I treat it like a retirement income. Every month I get $4,000 over dollars. It's a wonderful feeling, and I'll get it until the day I die. Now, this is where I want to issue a very important warning to everybody. Be careful of anyone who calls you and say that they are from CPF board or government official or financial institution, asking you for personal detail, bank account, or telling you how nice will it be for you to transfer money from this place to that place whatsoever. Do not entertain such calls because it is very dangerous. There's a high chance these are scams. So do not be scammed of your hard-earned money, your retirement money. Once it's scammed, it won't come back to you. So really exercise a lot of care because this is now a point of vulnerability that could happen if you don't treat your money with care. The CPF board does do outbound calls, but they are only made through 2 numbers. And you can take a record of these 2 numbers down, okay? Now, I'll just say this, that when in doubt, just don't entertain any calls or click any links, okay? Now, most of us who are more sophisticated, we are highly educated, we can discern the address and whatsoever, that's fine. But for your, uncle, aunties, parents, 70, 80, 90 years old, tell them to be safe, just don't entertain any calls, whether rightfully or wrongfully. Don't click any links, don't entertain any call. And that's the best way to protect yourself, right? So this is hard-earned money. Right now, you have got money in your SA, they're quite safe. Suddenly, it goes to the ordinary account. That's where the risk start happening. So I just want to remind everybody to exercise a lot of care. Major scam warning on this. Your ordinary account is like a savings account. It can be easily transferred out if you are scammed. So do not release any detail, especially your SingPass, your NRIC, your personal detail, bank account, whatsoever, mobile number, mobile SMS, whatever. Don't reveal to anybody. And let this be a very major warning to everybody. Brief your parents, brief your spouse, brief your friends to take this very seriously because the amount of scams out there is a lot. I have no idea whether scammers are going to target your CPF or not, but I know Singapore is one of the most scam city on earth. So let's take this very seriously. So if you want to see how much has been transacted or whatsoever, no, don't need to click any link or SMS. Just go to the official CPF website or the mobile app, which is the best because that is where you can go in. I don't think scammers have built a CPF app yet. Okay, so then you log in with your SingPass and check your account status. That will be the safest. The CPF board has instituted a CPF withdrawal lock. And I think that is something we should all consider very seriously. So you could actually head to your My CPF and with your SingPass and go to account setting and turn off this thing called CPF withdrawal lock. And that will lock up your CPF and make things very difficult to be withdrawn. The daily withdrawal amount will be set to 0. And you can always check again to make sure it's locked now. And if you want to withdraw next time, okay, then I'm sure there's some notification and also some authentication required plus 12 hours of cooling period. So this is a very good feature that is instituted. I suggest everybody implement this to protect your CPF if you have no intention to withdraw any CPF. Now, how does CPF decide how much money to transfer from your SA to RA? This is quite a difficult computation. My first comment would be trust the CPF. The system, I don't think has an issue, okay? But clearly there is a flow chart that go through it. I'll walk through you very quickly. Number one is if you already have your FRS in your retirement account, then every amount in your special account is withdrawable because they'll be transferred to your OA. Now, if you don't have enough of your full retirement sum in your retirement account, the other possibility is you have not set aside a full retirement sum, and then clearly in most cases, then you've got nothing to withdraw because you haven't met the full retirement sum. But because you may have done property pledges and things like that, and you pledge up to half the full retirement sum using a property, then you can withdraw some amount. Then the withdrawal amount will be transferred to your OA, and any remaining SA will be transferred to your RA. So this is really what the situation is. But log in and take a look into your log in into your CPF mobile app or website to take a look, and you will know for yourself whether how much money has been transferred. Well, all said and done, this topic has been discussed, debated for over a year already. So actually, all of us are prepared for this. This is a non-event. Okay, this is a non-event. I know some of you all may be, nitpicking on some of this interest, payment because of how many days in SA and so many days in OA or whatsoever. Let it go. This is a non-event. Okay. Focus on how to deploy your resources carefully. The biggest question you have is what you're going to do with your increased OA. Let me warn everybody. Warren Buffett has said this before. To everyone with a hammer in a hand, everything looks like a nail. Now, in the past, maybe you don't have so much money in your OA. Suddenly, you have a lot more in your OA, earning a lower interest than what you was. You just can't tahan the itch to go and deploy it. Be very careful because the fact that you now have this money means you're above 55 years old. You really need to think very carefully how to deploy this amount. Your CPF is your financial safety net. Most of us cannot afford to lose this money. So at 55 years old and above, you have reached a certain stage of life that you cannot afford to touch risky asset anymore. A lot of people say, I'm going to put an S&P 500. Last year, it went up by 20%. This year, no, I can accept it even it's half and things like that. I can want to invest in stocks. I want to invest in crypto. I buy a property, whatsoever. At this age, you should be thinking of putting your CPF in safe asset, okay? I would think of things like T-bill, SSB, fixed deposit, or so on. Never touch anything that you don't understand. Never follow any financial guru, whether is it Mr. Lu, Mr. Tan, Mr. Lee, who just talk about, how good their investment returns are, in their YouTube or in their TikTok without understanding in detail what they are doing in a video or in a course, okay? Please do not deploy this amount of financial safety net into things that are high risk that you don't understand. Let me just make this very clear. Every decision that you take right now has its own risk. Whether you transfer to RA, then there's longevity risk. Okay. If you keep money in an OA, there's interest risk because now lower. There's always policy risk when it involves CPF. And if you deploy your money outside CPF, there is investment risk. Everything has a risk. You decide for yourself. I can only tell you what Mr. Lu do. Mr. Lu decided that I will put into my RA and withdraw money as much as I can. Everybody's circumstances are different, so you got to decide for yourself. In closing, take your time to think. There's no need to rush, okay? Take your time to think how you want to deploy. There's no need to rush. And second thing is, do not leak your information out to anybody because there's a risk of scam, okay? So with this, let me know your comments and I'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.